ask a question.
Xavier, what's important for you this spring as a veteran, even though you're not taking reps out there?
Just preparing the young guys. Just being a team player. Just trying to do everything and show the guys that I'm still here, even though I'm not on the field, and just trying to give them tips and little things I saw out there on the field to help them be a better player on the field.
I don't know if we've talked to you since, but what went into your decision to come back for another year and kind of walk us through how that process went for you?
I wanted to go to the NFL. Of course, everybody wants the NFL, but I felt like it would have been, the best decision for me to come back and give one more year, and then come off a great season with the team we had last year. We have a lot of returners coming back this year coming up, and I just want to get one more chance to ball with my boys on the field.
How close, not close, obviously not close, but how close did it come, and what was kind of that breaking point, like, all right, I'm going back?
Yeah, it was kind of close, but, so that's the reason why I'm not playing right now. I'm dealing with a little injury I kind of was dealing with during the season, so I didn't want to, go into the NFL, kind of hurt. So that's kind of played into a big decision of, come back for one more year.
As a spectator, just watching this spring, what have you seen from the secondary, especially some of the younger guys?
They came, they're ready to play. They're just, they picking up of what the older guys doing. We have a lot of returners, so they just kind of seeing it, what the older guys are doing, and just following their line, and just taking it one step at a time and getting better.
The coaches have been talking a lot about Tanner Heckle. We're going to talk to him here shortly, but is he one of those breakout guys this spring, do you think?
Yes, for sure. He kind of just puts in the work and put his head down and just get his job done. Definitely in the weight room, this guy can lift for days. I'm not lifting like how he's lifting, but he's just a guy that kind of works hard and just try to do everything right. And when you do that, you got a better chance of getting on the field.
Where are you at health-wise?
I'm pretty ready. I'm running. I'm in my progression of running and stuff, but we kind of just taking it slow, not trying to rush anything, and just making sure when I'm back, I'm fully healthy and I'm ready to go for the season.
Can you share what it is you're dealing with, injury?
Yeah, so just a little ankle injury I kind of dealt with since high school. It's always been kind of lingering, and we just finding ways to stay healthy and just maintenance and take care of it.
You didn't do spring last year, did you? You had come off your ACL, right?
I had a surgery last year.
Yeah. So what did you learn about maximizing this time, even if you're not getting reps? Obviously, it didn't affect your play, but you must be doing something to maximize this.
Yeah, for sure. Just kind of trying to be a student of the game, in the classroom. I can't be out there physically, so I just kind of try to be that student of the game in my books, and just trying to find ways to get myself better, so when I get back, I can work on those things and and improve my game.
You had a ton of interceptions. You had a really good year. What's the encore in 2025? Like, what are your personal goals for this season?
Just continue to do what I do. Kind of just be a team player. Just be there for my guys, and I feel like once you do those things, the success will come, and the hype and the accolades and the stats will come with that. But just kind of being a team player and being there and just playing hard each and every play and just let my game do what it do.
You had a good year last year, and the whole secondary seemed like improved a lot from 2023. What did you maybe change personally, and what were some things team-wide that you think changed going into last year?
Yeah, I just wanted to become a more vocal leader, kind of last year, and I'm going to continue to do that kind of this year. And just the guys, we came together, and it's like we wasn't impressed with, what happened with those previous years. So we just took it upon ourselves to be the best we could be each and every game.
We kind of saw 2 years ago what the back end can do in this defense if they're experienced.
Yeah.
And one of the top defenses in the country, right? Have you guys built that? You think you've progressed to that point now with this current group?
Yeah, for sure. It's a lot of experience on the back end now. We got a lot of seniors. And we're just trying to not look forward of, with success. We just kind of want to look forward of how do we get better and what are the things we can do to kind of get better as a defense. We know what we can kind of do. We kind of know each other as brothers, and we got a sense of what each other knows and what they don't know. So we just trying to just fix those little and just kind of tweak those little things that we kind of let go, last season, and just try to get better.
How's it help with, communication? Communication's big in the back end, obviously. How's that help with communication, just to have guys next to you that you're familiar with?
You just kind of know what to expect. Like, sometimes what that person's going to be, what he likes to do. So just having that, just a little communication, you kind of know what to expect before the play, So that just kind of help you play faster and be able to make more plays on the football.
Fool the defense a little bit more too, right?
Yeah, for sure. You can kind of give it a little bit more sauce, a little bit more, swagger on there. So.
Or the offense.
Yeah, the offense for sure. I know what you're saying. So just a little bit more swagger out there, and everybody feels just a little bit more comfortable.
What's it like playing for Coach Parker? Do you like it?
Yeah, I love Coach Parker, man. man. Coach Parker's a guy, man. He always want to see the best in you. I always tell people, like, they see him kind of talking loud and they think he's yelling. He's not even yelling. He's just a, enthusiastic coach. He just want to see the best of us. And I was saying the other day, man, I never really heard Coach Parker cuss before, so that's just the guy who he is. That just shows who he is. He come out there with his cleats and he's ready with energy. If you're down, he's gonna pick you up. He's just always trying to improve your game.
Just throughout like your football career, like what does he bring different, like X's and O's, you think, as a cornerback coach? Like does he does unique things? Is he like a football smart guy? Like what do you kind of see there?
Yeah, he's definitely a smart football guy, but he's definitely a detailed type of guy. He's gonna show you things that you didn't know. He's gonna always try to give you little tips and just help improve your game. Whether if whatever kind of style of DB you is, he's gonna play to your style. He's gonna make sure. Just for you, he's going to make sure you got the game and you feel comfortable what you're doing out there and you're ready to play.
Xavier, obviously you did a lot last year to put yourself in a position to have a decision. What do you feel like you showed last year on the field to get on those radars and be in the position you were?
Yeah, I just continue to show the type of guy I am. I always kind of keep my head down and just kind of work. Kind of been always under the radar type of guy, but I'm really not. But that's just how I've been perceived. So I just kind of just keep working and I just know my hard work's gonna pay off at the end of the day. Like I'm not in no rush or like I don't really care about those type of things. I just know that the people that know, they know. They know who I am. They know what I can do, and it's gonna show.
Obviously, you were dialed into the season, but was there a moment last year that you were like, oh, like people are kind of like I'm feeling people notice me more or my game more or hearing more. I don't know if that makes sense.
I mean, yeah, for sure. That Kansas game was kind of a statement game. It was kind of early in the season, and then kind of being the national player of the year. The national player of the week, and stuff like that. That kind of just put me on the radar a little bit more, and then I continue to have a good season. And I just just not try to look so far back into what I did last year, and just kind of try to just do even better this year and see what we can get.
What's it mean to have your brother here with you?
Yeah, it's kind of fun. It's kind of cool. I actually played with him in high school, but it's kind of different in college. I actually want to get out there on the college field with my brother. It's going to be a very cool moment for both of us.
Give us a scouting report on what you've seen from him so far this spring.
He ready. He's definitely out there. He's learning. He's an early enrollee, so he actually gets to get a little spring ball in before some of the other freshmen come in. So that's kind of good for him. He's kind of seeing what he's good at, and I haven't seen my brother play in 3 years, so it's actually kind of good for me because I just know some of the things he can work on. We can work on together on the off season to get him ready for the season and hopefully get him out there on a little sub package or something on the same time as me, just to be a moment for me and the family and everybody back home.
Did his presence at all make you second guess the jump, like to play a year with him?
Yeah, of course I want to play with my brother. We kind of talked about it, but I told him I was coming back and we'd have an opportunity to be out there together. So I'm gonna do everything in my power to get him out there, and he's gonna be ready.
It's like, how cool was that moment? Like, you guys dream about playing college football, playing in the NFL, to be like, hey man, I'm coming back. We're gonna playing the secondary together. Like, what would that mean to you?
Yeah, kind of at first, I never expected me and my brother to come to the same school, but as it was in the moment, I'm like, oh, this will possibly happen. So. Now that it's here, we can kind of do everything in my power, not only give him what I know and, show him the ropes of, the ins and outs of, being a college ball player, but just help him be, a better player and just help him, understand what's going on and be ready for his moment when it comes.